Do you stay healthy and energized and eat delicious foods throughout the holidays? Well, that's what I'm here to share with you today because so many people who are following a healthier diet, let me start that, who are sharing, ooh, my screen just went away. So many people who are doing a healthier diet, who have gotten off of gluten or dairy or sugar and all those things that we find are not good for us, for our energy, for our hormones. Around this time of year, it gets really tempting because all the favorite foods have all those ingredients in them. And all those favorite foods are actually really zapping your energy, messing with your immune system, and leaving you in a place where you're going to gain weight throughout the holidays. You're going to want to lose it in January and start all those New Year's resolutions that never work. And you're going to risk your immune system not working properly. So I'm Dr. Rita Murillo Scalzo. I'm super excited to be here today to share with you some strategies that I've found in over 30 years of practice and over 35 years of following a super healthy plant-based diet and enjoying the holidays dramatically. So let's get started. Let's start with some of the ingredients that we all tend to eat at the house. Well, not we all, because I haven't done it in 35 years, but that so many people tend to want and crave during the holidays. And cookies are one big one. Christmas cookies. I used to make these fabulous thumbprint cookies that everybody in my family loved, but they didn't love us back. They were full of gluten and sugar, and I think they had some eggs in them. Turns out I was allergic to eggs, which I didn't know back then. I just knew that I felt miserable all the time. So, what can you do instead? What could you do to provide your body with nutrition, but still get to eat Christmas cookies? I have some ideas, and I'm going to share those with you in a second. What are some of the other things that we tend to like at the holidays? Candies, those little chocolates or other kinds of candies in the molds that look like Christmas stockings or that look like Hanukkah candles. Hanukkah, big thing, gelt, Hanukkah gelt, all chocolate candy, right? So candy is another one of those things that we think about at the holidays and are like, yay, I really, really, really want to have some Christmas candy. And I normally don't. But here's the thing, when we go for the cookies and we go for the candy and we go for the pumpkin pie and the mince pie and the apple pie and all of those sugary, sweet, floury desserts, what we do is not just add extra calories to our waistlines, not just risk gaining weight during the holidays, which the average person gains 5 to 10 pounds, some even more throughout that season from Thanksgiving all the way to New Year's. Not good because those pounds come on much more easily than they go off. So, what can you do instead? Do you forego the Christmas spirit? Do you forego the Hanukkah spirit? Do you forego the holiday celebrations when everybody else is celebrating? And what about the alcohol? A lot of people, wine and beer and spirits of all kinds tend to be on the plate, right? We celebrate with alcohol, which isn't very good for people who have any alcoholic tendencies in their family or in their own history. But also, alcohol damages brain cells. Alcohol damages liver cells. Alcohol is not your friend. It also thins the lining of your tract. And I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news. I'm actually here to be the bearer of good news because you can enjoy all of these celebration times if you prepare right. I have a little book. I can put the link in the chat if you're interested in. It's called Blitz That Belly, and it's holiday celebration themes and how you can replace things in your diet with other things that are more healthy. So put the link in the comments or the chat, and I'll make sure that one of my team members puts the link to that in there for you or reaches out to you somehow. What do we do? So I make Christmas cookies. I love making Christmas cookies. I love taking out the rolling pin and rolling them out. I love taking out the little cookie cutters and cutting them into shapes. One of my faves is gingerbread cookies. And I just recently posted a gingerbread cookie recipe on my blog. So if you head on over to drritamarie.com/blog, you'll get to see that recipe. It's a fantastic recipe. And instead of using flour and sugar and dairy products or eggs or whatever else is in your cookie recipes, I'm using nuts and seeds. If you're sensitive to nuts, you can always do seeds. And I'm using good whole foods plant-based fats. Plus, I'm using things that make the taste. Gingerbread, right? What is gingerbread cookies? Well, it's a combination of spices that include ginger, of course, and also some cinnamon and cardamom and nutmeg. And they're all mixed together in the dough, and then we roll it out. Well, my particular cookies don't even need to be baked. You can just roll them out, cut them with the cookie cutter, and you can do one of two things. You can put them in the dehydrator to dehydrate, or you can actually put them in the freezer, and now you have freezer cookies. And they're all in the shapes of these beautiful little gingerbread people, and you can decorate them with goji berries for eyes and raisins for the buttons on their jackets and all sorts of things. And instead of eating foods that are going to hurt your waistline, that are going to hurt your health, you're eating foods that are going to help. And in terms of sweeteners, there's a lot of low glycemic alternative sweeteners around. We have stevia, and some people say, "Oh, I don't like stevia." It's stevia is has an aftertaste. Some people even say stevia is artificial, which I will argue with you because I got stevia growing in my garden, and I can't grow artificial things in my garden. It's a real green plant. It's just the way that it's processed, and sometimes it looks like it's an artificial sweetener, but indeed it's not. Stevia is good, and lohan is a Chinese herb that actually has benefits for the digestive tract. And some studies even suggest that it might be helpful to support people's immune system when they have cancer. So lohan, Luohan, also known as monk fruit. But be careful, buyer beware, right? Always buyer beware. When you're going to get monk fruit, some of those are monk fruit sweetener and they have other stuff added. They have, I've seen them with high fructose corn syrup, even the liquid ones. I've seen them with various kinds of sugars in them. And I've seen them with artificial sweeteners in them. So be careful. There are pure monk fruit extracts. Those are the ones I recommend. And quite frankly, people say, where do you get this? Amazon has a ton of selections on really good pure monk fruit. There's a company called Lacanta, and they have one that's mostly erythritol, which can cause tummy aches, but they also have one that's a pure monk fruit extract. So check it out. And you can use just a little tiny pinch of monk fruit to sweeten up your cookies, your candies, your apple pie, your eggnog. That's another one. Oh my God, my mother made the best eggnog. And of course, it had egg and it had lots of dairy and lots of sugar, and she'd put a squirt of rum in there. I make eggnog without all that. I make some sort of nut milk or plant-based milk. And then we add something for sweetener. I used to do dates, but my blood sugar doesn't handle dates all that well. So instead of blending dates in, I use something like stevia or monk fruit. But you can use dates if your body handles it, or raisins or something like that. And you blend it up and you put, of course, the spices in there. That's what gives it the flavor, right? The cinnamon and the cardamom and the what else? Cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, right? Ginger, all of those wonderful things. You just find a recipe for eggnog and you add it to your own special nut milk blend. Phenomenal stuff. And we, on Christmas Eve, we make the nut milk, the eggnog, and we sit around and just like in the olden days with my family, we'll do that and we'll eat cookies, right? Not supposed to eat late at night, but you know how it is. You stay up late on Christmas Eve. But anyway, they're replacements for the things that are not so good for you. I make a pumpkin pie, and instead of using a lot of non-dairy condensed milk, which is common in it, I'll use coconut milk or coconut cream. And it's phenomenal. I have some really great recipes. In fact, keep your eyes open or put your name in the chat or comment. We are about to release a very special bundle of recipe guides and videos to help you through the holidays and beyond. And I have a ton of holiday recipes in that bundle. So put your put something in the comment, and as soon as we have that link available, which should be in a couple of days, we'll send it to you to be able to get that bundle. It's pretty phenomenal. I've been doing this, guys, for 35 years, like where I started to take charge of my own health. And about 30 years ago, I got licensed to be in practice. And I have a functional medicine practice, clinical practice ever since then, because I got such dramatic results when I shifted my sweet tooth stuff, when I shifted away from all the sugar and the processed foods and the flour and all that into good healthy food that still satisfied those amazing cravings. So pumpkin pie, you know what I use for crust? I have a couple of secret recipes for crust. I'll blend up in the food processor, not the blender, but in the food processor, I'll grind up nuts and seeds and maybe a little cocoa, which is delicious, or vanilla with a little bit of the sweeteners I mentioned to you earlier. And you press it into the pan. So it's kind of like when my mom used to make the graham cracker crust cookie or whatever, it was a pie or whatever. It was similar where it wasn't baked, it was pressed in. And then we make a filling, apple pie filling, pumpkin pie filling. Somebody posted for us a couple of years ago, like in my recipe redo that I do in this, I usually do one once a year, where people put in the recipes, their favorite recipes, and then I redo them in a healthy way. Somebody put in grasshopper pie. I'm like, whoa, I never heard of that before. I made this me. I looked it up. I learned how to do it. And I made this amazing grasshopper pie with avocado and coconut and mint and a couple of other things. And we filled the crust, the chocolate crust. Oh my gosh. So delicious, so yummy, so satisfying and filling, because you're not getting all this processed food. You're not getting all the flour and the sugar, which leaves you feeling hungrier because it doesn't satisfy your nutritional need. Plus, the reason it causes you to be more hungry after eating those pies or those cookies and the things made from flour and sugar, they make your blood sugar go way up and then it crashes down. And then you're hungry again, even if you're full. You know what I mean? You know what it means to be hungry, even if you're full? It means that your body like feels uncomfortable, yet your mouth and your brain want more food. That's what this kind of food causes you. When you indulge in the typical treats, you're not doing yourself a favor. And what bothers me the most is that a lot of people who I see, who I know are following healthier diets throughout the year and really working hard on their health, I see them falling off the wagon at this time of year because they just can't stand the temptation of grandma's apple pie or Aunt Susie's chocolate chip cookies. But what if you could make all of those things in a healthy way? What if you could make all of those things in a way that supports your hormones, that gives your thyroid a boost instead of crashing it down, that helps your digestion and your microbiome to be healthier, that keeps your blood sugar steady, and also your tongue happy because it's satisfying itself with these delicious flavors? So, cookies, candies, pies, eggnog. What else is there? Anybody want to put anything in the chat else, things so I can help you? I don't see anything. So there's people here on Instagram. Yeah, just post in there if there's something else you want me to talk about. Stuffing. So, Thanksgiving's a big time for stuffing, but in our family, Christmas was also a big time for stuffing. And my mother would get a couple of big loaves of day old bread, stale bread, eek, Wonder Bread, no doubt, and she'd put it in a bowl, chop it up real fine, and then she'd add meat, and then she'd add all these seasonings, these poultry seasonings, and we all loved it. So I said, how can I make that without the chopped meat, without the day old bread, and make it healthier? I blend up like things like chestnuts and almonds and walnuts and seeds that are good for our omega-3 balance. I blend all that together with veggies. So I'll grind that up in the food processor with some carrots and celery and whatever else is around, sometimes apples, right? And I put all of that in the food processor and make it into this consistency like my mom's stuffing. And then we season it with the poultry seasoning and parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, salt, pepper, whatever else you like. And then we form it into a loaf. And then I'll usually either put it in the dehydrator overnight to, kind of firm it up and crust it on the outside, or I just kind of mold it like that and we put it out. People love it. So there's all kinds of ways that you can celebrate the holidays while keeping your body healthy, strong, and full of energy. You ever have that feeling after a big Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner or any kind of holiday dinner where you just want to lay on the couch because you're stuffed? Well, part of that is that your body is responding to the sugar load, to the starch load. Your blood sugar is going up and then it's crashing down. So Help yourself, treat yourself, give yourself some really delicious, nutritious, and phenomenally festive holiday treats. So more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, watch the one that you'll see on the screen up here. If you want to see more, put your name in the chat that you're interested in finding out more. And I will, as soon as we have a link ready, we'll put it in there. And I'll also give you a link to that Blitz That Belly recipe guide. Just put it in the chat or the comments, wherever you are. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for paying attention to your health, for even showing up for a session like this live. I'm Dr. Rita Marie Loscalzo, and I'm super excited about supporting you on your health journey and supporting you in your practice if you're looking to convert your practice over to be more nutrition and health minded. Thank you so much. Have a great one.